On this episode of Clueless Revivals, I'm going to try to revive this 1983 Yamaha Enticer 300. Wish me luck. Now, as most of you have probably already guessed, I've been hanging out with Kevin and Angus a little too much, and their sickness is starting to spread. I'm going to the Vintage Snowmobile show and ride in Chetek, Wisconsin this weekend. And so, in proper fashion, I bought this sled. I actually bought two sleds. I have no idea. I know nothing about sleds. I am not a snowmobiler. So join me as I attempt to revive this snowmobile with literally no knowledge. So what you see before you is a mint condition 83 Yamaha Enticer 300 twin. This apparently was kind of a in-between model between the full-size Enticer with a 340 and the 250. This is actually a 250 chassis from what I've read, but it has a 300cc twin engine. I actually bought two of these Enticers from a local guy here. I think I'll start by checking it over as best I can. I figure I might as well pull a few times to see if by chance it lights off, but I'm sure the gas is bad. So we'll start there. All right, let's see if we have any fuels. You guys can't see in there. And there is some fuel in there. I'm sure it's all bad. This is an oil injected model, so that's nice. Okay, we do have oil. And looks like we're just at about the add level, but we do have some. All right, let's try and pull it. Now, before you say anything, I know there's very little chance that this is gonna work at all. But we're gonna try it anyway. Maybe I have this kill switch in the wrong position. Try again. Maybe some brake cleaner in the airbox. As I suspected, it probably needs choke. Might be what this is here. So I was looking at the carburetor, and this looks a little suspicious. That right there looks like the choke cable, the choke plunger, I think is what it's called. And it looks like this thing is undone but still stuck. So as with all small engine stuff, I guess we'll start by tearing the carburetor off. So I need to pull this choke plunger out of here, and it is stuck. I think I'll start by hosing it down with some WD-40 maybe, and trying to work that back and forth so I don't break it off. Well, I was able to get that choke plunger out of there, and it is a little bit crusty. There's a little bit of rust and some other stuff on there. All right, got the throttle cable undone. Looks like this one you kind of have to do a whoop-de-doozle to get it out of there. I loosen the clamp here on the intake manifold, and voila, carburetor is off. So I'm gonna undo this cable and take it to the bench, and we'll give this thing a bath and maybe pull it apart. All right, welcome to the parts washer. So we're gonna spend, you know, between $4 and $12 worth of brake clean trying to make this look like a carburetor again. We'll come back when it's cleaner. All right, started taking the carb apart here, and check this out. What even is that? Oh, look at this. What is that? Is that, I don't even want to know. There is so much crud in here. All right, well, gonna get this all cleaned out and come back. But I think, yeah, there's not a chance that this carburetor would have worked. All right, so a lot of the junk I already washed out of the bowl, but you can see down over here, there's some real dark caramel colored varnish and some other remnants of whatever goopy crap was in here. And we'll pull the needle and seat out as well as the emulsion tube here, and we'll keep cleaning. All right, quick interruption for a little bit of gratitude. I wanted to say thank you to Jason Sutherland for your incredibly generous donation to the Parts Fund. That blew me away. We've also had some members give super thanks, which is essentially like YouTube's version of a tip. I don't really like to talk about super thanks, memberships, or any of the other features like that that come with the YouTube channel, because I feel like if you guys like what you're seeing, you support the channel by watching or buying merch if you like it, or you're free to donate to the Parts Fund, but there is no pressure, and I will never expect it or ask for it. Thank you guys so very much. It makes putting cars together like this and buying parts way easier, and I really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. Okay, carburetor's been cleaned up and just put back on. I have checked actually with the carburetor off. I pulled the fuel line off the carb, and I just pulled the engine over by hand, and we are getting fuel coming in to the bowl. So our fuel pump is working. At this point, all I want to do is get a little bit of brake clean in there, see if this thing will snort off, and then at that point, maybe go after fuel system. Let's give it a spray. I know this is probably two-stroke suicide because it doesn't have oil in it. Okay, kill switch is on. Nothing's in the way in case this thing takes off. Here we go. Nice!
Yeah!
All right.
Told ya.
Cool. I'm gonna see now if I can't get a little more fuel into the bowl. I did add a little bit of fresh gas to the tank. I don't think that's gonna solve this, but I would like to hear this thing run a little bit longer than just that. So we'll play with this a little bit more. Okay, I'll admit off camera, we may have got this to work, but we'll try it again.
Now that the sled was running, my next thought was I should probably take it for a ride around the yard just to see where this thing was at from a base of operations standpoint, see if I could identify anything else that was wrong.
Headlight work. Tail light work. Okay, we'll try this again and I'll record this time. Okay, well, we've proven that Yamaha Enticers with this two-cylinder engine, or probably any of the 340s as well, are pretty much immortal. Look at that. It runs and it rides. It needs a ton of work. Otherwise, I'm sure a bunch of maintenance items. Yeah, so now that we know that it moves, we're gonna fix it up a little bit and get it ready for Chetek. Okay, this is the other snowmobile that I bought. Now this is, I think, an 84 model. Excel 3. So this unit here has a few more options. Looks like we have gauges and electric start. Now the battery is most definitely dead, but what I tried to do was the same thing I did with that one. Put some fresh gas in here and tried to pull it, and we got nowhere. I did hear this one pop off with fuel right down the cylinders, but nothing else. So clean the carb on this one just like that. All right, same sort of deal with this carb. Just got it very quickly cleaned and sprayed out with brake cleaner, disassembled, reassembled. This carb looked a lot better than the one on the 300. So I'm a little suspicious now. I wonder if the fuel pump is working. I'm gonna toss this back on and we're gonna put just a tiny bit of brake clean in it just to hear it pop off. All right, I think I found the problem right there. Yeah, that fuel line is completely worn out and brittle. I think I have some new stuff, I'll throw that on. I think our fuel pump is actually working. All right, carb's back on. I did replace that one fuel line. I know I probably need other fuel lines to be replaced, but just to make sure that this thing actually does what I want it to, we'll pull it over a little bit and see if it fires off. I can already see fuel moving. Yep, there it is. We have fuel flow.
So here's a quick preview of what my weekend was going to be like trying to keep this thing going.
Guess I'll pull the plugs and see what they look like. All right, plugs are definitely flooded. I'm gonna spray these off with some brake clean, dry them out, and then add a little bit more fresh gas to the tank and give it a pull. Okay, going live with a little spray. Oh, there it was. Hell yeah! Okay, that's 2 running enticers. I'm pretty enticed. Oh my god. 2 snowmobiles that run. I want to take this one for a quick lap around the yard and we'll be right back. Alright, I wonder if that's all the fuel that it had was just that little bit. I wonder if it flooded. Pull the plugs and check. Oh yeah, flooded, real bad. Okay, here we go again. This time, less floodage, I hope. Did it flood again? No. Nothing on that plug. Okay, so we're out of gas. I didn't put enough in. All right. So upon closer inspection, you look down at this green hose in there. We actually don't have fuel at the carburetor anymore. So I'm gonna pull the air box back off and see if we do in fact have a problem with the fuel pump, or maybe another fuel line that's cracked. Okay, this one, I don't know if it runs quite as good as the 300 does, but it's late and I don't want to make any more noise. Okay, it's the next day. I'm officially leaving for Chetek tomorrow afternoon, so I'm going to try to do as much maintenance on both of these sleds as I possibly can between now and tomorrow night. I went and got some more fresh gas and put that in the tank here. I pulled it a few times just to get some fuel pressure. I want to see if this thing fires up and runs any better than it did yesterday, because it didn't seem like it was hitting on both cylinders all the time. That's what happened yesterday, and I think we ran out of fuel. I want to say we probably have a fuel line that is still leaking and not allowing the fuel pump to maintain pressure. Okay, I think it's time for me to tear into this thing proper. I'm going to vacuum out all the dirt and grass and leaves and stuff under the hood, take the air box off, then I'll replace some more fuel lines. I think I have a few others that are a problem. Probably do oil lines while I'm in here and see if we can't get it to run a little bit better, clean it up a little bit. I've noticed what I believe to be a fuel leak down in here. All of that is wet. That's underneath the fuel pump down there. So we'll dig in. What I thought was a fuel leak is actually just melting snow. So I put some more fresh fuel in it. I think I'm gonna run it just a little bit longer to see if it clears out. I know I put 2-stroke gas in it last night because that's all I had. And that, along with the oil injection, is probably making this thing run stinking fat on oil. So let's run it a little bit longer with the fresh gas in it and see if it clears up. still don't think it's running totally right. Holy man, is it still cold out there. I'm not wearing snowmobile gear, I get it. But this thing is still running kind of weird. I'm gonna need plugs for it probably. I think one of the plugs, you might have seen it in a previous clip. One of the plugs looked pretty good, the other one looked pretty fouled. So I'm wondering if we were intermittent misfire on that second cylinder because of that plug. I'm gonna get it fired up and I'm gonna pull each plug wire off and see what happens. All right, so that one kills it. Okay. Ouch, man, that little coil on these suckers really works. All right, so that one kills it. This one still runs. That's my bad plug. Another thing though, I did adjust the idle mixture screw just a little bit, and it does seem to be idling a little bit better. And it's way less smoky, which means that fresh gas is probably finally mixing in and getting to the car. Sounds a little bit better to me. Probably still needs some adjustment on the idle as well. Can probably check the chain case oil, lube up the clutch a little bit. But I think I'm gonna focus my efforts on the 300, the nicer sled. All right, get out of the way, you beautiful piece of vintage equipment. Oh. All right, time to focus on the nice sled. I mean, look at this little guy. He's so cute. 300 cc's of fury. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna do as much maintenance on this thing as I possibly can. It's already getting late, so let's get to it. All right, so just like I was gonna do the other one, I'm gonna vacuum out as much stuff as I can, pull off the belt guard here, maybe look at the clutch, check the chain case oil, a few other things. Other than that, I'm just gonna kind of give this a once over, then I'll put the rear end of the sled up in the air, check the bogey wheels and the high facts or whatever else those things are called. I'm using all these terms that I Googled to figure out what snowmobile guys say. So tell me how I'm doing. I was warned about this very thing. If there is mouse nest underneath the engine or underneath the carburetor. Right here we just have a big mud dauber nest. So yeah, I'm gonna get all this cleaned out. Maybe wipe down our oil bottles so we can actually see what's in there. And then pop the cover off. All right, things are looking pretty good under the engine cover here. I don't see much of anything. There's a little bit of like grass and stuff there. I'll vacuum it off a little bit, but that looks pretty good. Well, I had plans to try and recover this seat. I got the front bolts off and this thing is just completely rotted away under here. There's like nothing left. So instead of that, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of this vinyl material right here, I'm gonna trim it and lay it over the back, tape it down, and bolt the seat right back in place and leave it alone. So this material is just marine grade vinyl. Got this from a fabric store. I think it was $12 for a yard, which is way more than I need to redo the whole seat. But I'm just gonna use a little piece here and patch it in. Okay, we're going with silver duct tape this time, because that's what I have. Okay, I am like literally out of time for tonight. We're gonna give this thing a whole, car wash in a can or snowmobile wash in a can. Try to clean it up as best I can, get it ready for the trip tomorrow. All right. It's not pretty, but it's better than it was, that's for sure. Looking like an almost proper Enticer 300. Especially with that custom seat. Okay, that's enough for today. Gonna wrap it up, hit the road tomorrow. Good afternoon, it's the next day. The sleds are all loaded up on my neighbor's trailer. Thanks again, S Motorsports. I am just about packed up. I'm gonna grab a few other things and we're gonna hit the road to Chetek. Good morning. We have made it to Wacket Cabin. Oh, it's horrible. Camp Whacker, it's also horrible. Anyway, as you can probably see, we're missing a few parts. The trip up here was not kind to the 300. At some point last night, the seat flew off of this thing, and if you look at the windshield, it is destroyed. So, unfortunately, the 300 will not be my rig of choice today, considering I don't have a seat. Looks like I'll have to take the XL3. We're gonna get these unloaded. Everybody's gonna get geared up. The vintage snowmobile ride starts at 10 a.m. today, so We've got to get all the sleds running and everybody organized and over there by 10 o'clock. We're going to get that done and we will see you there.
All right, as you can probably tell, it was really hard for us to get good, clean audio, especially riding on the back of sleds with all the wind. With the sleds unloaded, fueled up, and running, we set off across the lake to meet up with the Chetek Snow Flyers Club at the first stop of the vintage snowmobile ride. I skipped the first part of this ride because it was rather chaotic, but what did you guys think? How was it so far?
Oh, the barbecue Bloody Mary was delicious.
Yeah, that is true. Barbecue Bloody Marys at the first bar, that was incredible.
Yep.
Yeah. The rest of Wisconsin should really get on that trend if you guys aren't. Bob is here, Angus is here, Ethan is here. Kevin got stuck. He was helping somebody else on the first leg of the trip here. But this is just a quick shot of all the cool vintage sleds that showed up today. Check this out.
Vintage snowmobiles. I love snowmobiles. I hate snowmobiles.
I love snowmobiles right now because mine runs. It took way too long to get it running this morning, but it does run. Everybody looks cold. What's the temperature right now?
Not many. I think it's like two.
Two?
Three.
We got good ice.
It's 15.
15?
Yeah, it's a heat wave.
15 with a breeze. So this is the first stop of the trip. What bar are we at right now?
We are at the Wolf's Den.
We're at Wolf's Den in Prairie Lake, you said? In Chetek, Wisconsin.
This is the bar.
For those of you watching, I bet you wish you could be here. I'm sorry you can't, and this is already in the past, but get over it. We're having a blast. This thing ready to fire up or what? Eddie's packing packing it full of snow.
There's one in it. What are you doing, Goose? It's full of gas, Kevin. Oh, that's very
Oh.
Watering the snowmobile.
Wow. Really won't catch on that big of a
You know that they won't grow unless you water
It
them,
does.
Exactly. How do you expect to make a 440 out of this thing?
right?
You guys didn't put a fuel shut on it, did you? Yeah, when I turned it on.
After helping a fan fix fuel lines on his Yamaha Phaser, we all loaded up, fired up the sleds, and headed back across the lake to the next stop. This is the first year of the vintage snowmobile ride put on by the Chetek Snow Flyers, and they had a really impressive turnout of 60-some sleds.
All right, here we are. Stop number 3. Everybody's getting ready to roll. Next stop is the clubhouse for the Chetek Flyers Snowmobile Club, and back out on the lake. All right, Angus, what's up now?
I hate snowmobiles.
How about you? Do you hate snowmobiles?
Well, mine's running.
Right, so is mine. Yeah, so my Excel 3 here has been just a beaut. I actually did have one failure where a spark plug worked itself completely out of the head on the trail. So I found out the hard way that 2 spark plugs threaded all the way in. These things run really good.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So we are, again, broke down on the side of the trail. Been fighting intermittent problems on all kinds of sleds. The group is kind of split up now. I think we're gonna see what's up with this John Deere.
How's it going?
Here we are, good. What happened to you?
Oh, my blood fell out.
The big old thing
The,
back there. So
the blood fell off.
Put it on ice.
Yeah, put ice on that.
Almost rolled the fixed.
So what's going on, Kevin?
He
He fell down and went boom.
He fell down?
Almost. Lost a bag, and now the secondary's unhappy.
Oh shit.
We're more so worried about his registrations on the trail back there somewhere.
Okay.
I think he'll
So we're gonna go look for it.
I think we'll go look for that then. You guys troubleshoot, we'll go look for the bit.
knuckle as well.
Yeah, I will let you know.
We helped a couple of fans fix their snowmobiles on the side of the trail, and then finished up the ride with a stop at the Chetek Flyers Clubhouse, and then we headed back to the first stop for the fundraiser and after party.
Good morning, everyone. It's the next day. This is Saturday, the day of the Vintage Snowmobile Show, as well as the drags, radar runs, bikini run, etc. The whole crew is here, and we have made it to the marina here in Chetek with all of the vintage sleds. Let's go check out some of these sleds. Skeeter. Oh,
Oh, hello.
hello.
Check it out. A tractor.
A tractor snowmobile. Ski whiz.
That nickname is awesome. Is that like a 2.3 Ford?
Yep.
A Pinto engine?
Exactly, yep.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh, this is home built?
Yep.
Man, saw this thing on the trail yesterday. It was wild looking. All right, Ezra and I decided to rip back across the lake to the cabin, get some tools, make some repairs. Ezra, what are you working on?
Brakes would be nice. I like having brakes. I mean, you slow down pretty good on the snow just letting off, but they're nice to have. So I'm hoping to get some life left out of them. The pads are just really worn down.
Yeah, Ezra's having trouble. His brake linkage is like all the way out of adjustment, or out as far as you can. So I think, what you said, you're gonna attempt to reclock that
yeah, I was
lever?
gonna see if I can reclock this lever here and get some more bite. That would be good.
Yeah, other than that, this Jag has been like, I don't know, were these made by Toyota or something? Because they're so reliable?
Honda, Toyota.
Yeah, right.
I think they all went in.
Yeah. Well, anyway, over here on the Enticer, this thing has actually been incredibly reliable, very comfortable, and actually pretty snappy. However, I didn't have a headlight, so we put a bulb in it, and it's still very dim, which means the voltage regulator is bad. So I'm going to take this opportunity to put a voltage regulator in it, as well as add a fuel filter. All right, so this very unfortunate wrapped up package is the battery that was in this sled. It's long dead, does not work. With that out of the way, we can get to our voltage regulator right back in there. I'm gonna pop that guy off. Hopefully our aftermarket one we can make work. All right, it's been a minute. Voltage regulator is in. I believe it's the right one even. Here we go. You guys want to know how reliable an Exciter is? Or sorry, an Enticer. Yeah? We could check high beam maybe? High beam works? There we go. Alright. Well, here we are.
We made it.
We made it. Right?
Made it.
We're at Chetek Winter Fest, and we're just about in time to watch the bikini runs,
Yeah.
which is a pretty awesome fundraiser. Check out all the sick sleds around here. There's all kinds of stuff to do. Mag toss over here.
Fat kid is shaking in the snow.
What do you say we head over there and get a spot?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's Tom.
This is also the most racers we've actually had for the bikini run. They went to a bunch of local establishments from 10 o'clock, met back here around 4. And they also hosted a breakfast this morning. And then we had another breakfast by our local powerlifting club. Doesn't matter the year of this sled, that's still a fun ride. That's awesome.
Look at that. What engine is that? Huh? XJ? Okay. Yeah. Nice. Absolutely sick. With all the racing finished for the day, we packed up, suited up, and then made our way towards the cantina for the awards ceremony. And on the way, this sled rolled over 1,000 kilometers. That's all that's on it. This thing is in such good shape, it's crazy.
This is Jared. We're just gonna take a leisurely stroll in his race neon today. This isn't a big deal, right? We were trying to figure out what radio station to play because Jared likes to listen to music while he's cranking sideways, but I want to take you guys on a little trip. This is the Chetek Ice Racing Club, right?
Yep.
It's gonna be awesome.
3rd annual Green Water Classic.
All right, I know this wasn't a typical revival video that you were probably expecting, but I did buy 2 vintage snowmobiles, get them running, and take them up to Chetek. Grab a vintage sled just like I did, put in a little bit of work, get it running, and take it out and bomb around with your friends. I want to shout out Steve Gladio. Nice to meet you. A Steve is as a Steve does. Carissa, Jared, Bree, everybody that we hung out with up there in Chetek, we had a lot of fun. You guys were super nice. I will definitely go back. All of you that have watched, thank you so much, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.